Good morning, Moonlight Citizens. This is your man on the moon, and I am here with a special guest to discuss all things Marvel, DC, and the like, and a few other things too, right here on Moonlight Kingdom Podcast. We're to blast off in 3, 2, 1.
Adding more Warlock would have taken less time away from either Rocket, Quill, or Nebula and their development in the movie. And I feel like we needed to see all of that from these characters. Save for the Warlock stuff, we needed to see that level of progression in their characters to justify what they end up doing at the end. Otherwise, we're all going to go, oh, but that was out of nowhere, you know. At least in this context, we see everything coming. It all makes sense. It sets an understandable and clear, it sets a clear path of where things will be.
Oh, absolutely. And with but the thing is, if Adam Warlock feels like a last minute guy, then it's weird that he feels like an extra in this movie, considering he was set up way back in Guardians 2 in 2016. So,
and that's the problem, because it was 8 years ago. It was so long ago now that trying to do something is it's too late, and it would feel too stacked on. I will admit, they possibly could have used their time management a little bit better with regards to the Aisha stuff, because she's kind of left, she's kind of blew up on, Counter Earth, and that was that. But I would say, minusing the musical scenes and the sprawling set scenes of CGI without humans, those seconds that were taken to, show those scenes and these musical numbers and dancing, maybe we could have reshuffled it more into the runtime dedicated to certain story beats. Perhaps you can say that.
Yeah, it could have done that.
Especially the whole Nathan Fillion, those guys. It was funny.
Did we really need that, though? I mean,
at the same time, even if it wasn't there, it wouldn't be a lesser movie for it at the same time. So, yeah, certain scenes could have been repackaged time-wise for other scenes.
Yeah.
You're right.
There was, on the subject of movies managing their time and reshuffling things, let me ask you, what's a movie, let's narrow it down. What's a superhero movie you've seen where you say everything that's here is meant to be here? There's nothing we can cut out and the movie still works.
Oh, you cut out.
Yeah, every minute of this movie is in total service of the movie. There's no fluff.
Maybe strictly MCU or anyone.
Any superhero film, Marvel, DC.
Okay. I would say 2 films.
Okay.
Superman 1. Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier?
I could also easily swap it out with Iron Man 1. But mainly with the Winter Soldier and Superman 1.
So the first Christopher Reeve Superman movie is the movie where you're every minute of this movie is meant to be here. There's no fluff in this film.
Yeah. It created a gold standard of fictional storytelling. It helped Star Wars. It helped fucking Batman until it didn't back in the certain 90s genre I think when it comes to superhero story, you don't get better than the genius of Richard Donner. Of just, maybe not superheroes per se, maybe like fiction. The wonder of fiction. Richard Donner made something special with Superman.
Yeah. And he did it in a time, and he wasn't a superhero movie director. Those didn't exist back then. He was just a guy, you know.
Just a gifted man.
Yeah.
Like, he set such a scene, like, all of these tropes from the mind of one man. Just a genius of storytelling and framing and different. Very good stuff.
Yeah. The first one, you know, a little light on action, but it was still a good movie.
And you see the duality of his ability to convey action with the Lethal Weapon series. And you're like, oh, but wait.
Yeah.
Fuck, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Speaking of Lethal Weapon, did you hear that Mel Gibson is apparently working on Lethal Weapon 5?
I heard that, and he asked Danny to come over, and he said he'd think about it. I don't know. Because you don't know, it's very dangerous to be associated with Mel. The whole anti-Semitic thing.
But that was years ago, dog.
10 years. After 10 years, he's been, skating on thin ice. Thinner than Kanye.
Yeah. But come on, dude, that was years ago. Surely people moved on by now.
The thing is, look, I don't care. Mel Gibson, artist, it is what it is. He's fucked up, he's eccentric, but his movies talk for themselves, So, I would say he might have Hollywood's backing, but the general public is a bit pessimistic from viewing his movies. There's still that layer of do we, don't we? I would say.
Yeah, I could see it. With a guy like Mel, it's like a man his age. Yeah, he's a very polarizing actor, but it's to the point of you either love his stuff or you don't. There's no middle ground, and I'd prefer a polarizing actor as opposed to a middle of the road guy, where like,
people pleaser, everyone happy.
Yeah. Like, the people who hate you don't have a lot to say, and, the people who like you think you're good. Like, you're okay. Like, okay. The biggest people pleaser, like, total middle of the road actor. Huh.
Like, you're so vanilla bland, so desperate for that attention. I want to say for the longest time it was Will Smith,
Really? Will? I mean,
you remember Will has so much shame. Will, even the whole open marriage shit was very tough, and the fact that Will very much was part of the Scientology. He did leave, but he was part of it.
Uh-huh.
No one seems to mention that a lot. And Tom Cruise has been the guy who gets most of the flack in the past few years. Will's kind of been skidding under the radar for that shit. He's gotten away with a lot. And he would hate for people to see the real weird, nasty side. Particularly the whole stuff about Jada and the open marriage shit. Just how they operate. I would say Will has a lot of shame. He's like Hollywood clean black man for the longest time, and he snapped and he slapped Chris Rock.
I mean, he tried to be the clean-cut guy, always smiling, joking, and, just...
Exactly. Then Hollywood kept pushing him. Chris Rock just picked the wrong day.
Yeah.
The wrong day when Jada would look back at Will. The wrong day. She didn't need to look back at him, but she did. And it would just so happened that it would be the night of the Oscars. So Chris was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He got face slapped.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, he's not over it, but like, come on. I mean, it's very embarrassing. Imagine you're both black multi-millionaires, and you've been kind of friends for like the better part of 30 years. Next thing you know, you get slapped on national stage. It's embarrassing. Like, you're a grown adult.
Yeah.
Getting slapped by them. Believe me, it's warranted. But for him, it must be so embarrassing. I get why he had that weird, like, just crazy obsessive grudge during the stand-up routine. He spent like an hour talking about Will Smith. You could tell it was still very fresh.
Yeah.
Still freshly embarrassing for him. I get it though, you know, but it's still, man, crazy.
Because keep in mind, he didn't say anything for like a year. So he'd been stewing and all that. So
the only thing he had said is that he does not accept Will Smith's apology. And then the whole special came out months after that.
Mm.
That's crazy, man. I mean, hey, just know who to talk shit about, you know?
Yeah.
That's the name of the game. No, talk shit about Kevin's wife. Don't talk about shit about, like Jason Statham's wife or whatever. Like, you're gonna meet someone backstage.
Like,
Will Smith just did it right now.
yeah.
But people do that all the time, Marlon Brandy's trying to put niggas. He was just speak about the right people, guys. We get it. Oh, comedy is a sacred art. Why should you hit someone unprofessional, barbaric, inhumane, showing a lack of humanity? Okay, that's nice. We're still the same race that had Adolf Hitler. Okay, we're Adolf Hitler. We're Genghis Khan. We're Stalin. We're Mao Zedong. We're humans. Okay, we're nothing. Doesn't fucking matter. And just they don't get that.
Yeah.
They don't get that.
But with the slap, the thing that everyone clings on to is okay, personally, I believe if this slap happened, if like Chris and Will met backstage and he slapped him there, we'd talk about it for like a minute and then we'd move on.
Yeah, it would be a TMZ story at best, and then it would quiet down.
Yeah. The whole.
But then now it was on camera, national stage, Oscars, important regal event. Yeah, please get over yourself, or whatever. And everyone was offended.
And you couldn't edit around it, no matter how.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, just two niggers getting at it, being barbaric in front of the whole world when we allowed them to join our society. Like, they were very angry. Everyone wanted Muslim's head. You ruined it. You ruined our white event. You really ruined it.
Banned for 10 years.
I really get it.
Shit, 9 more to go.
Oh, they were pissed off. Yo, man, they were pissed. 10 years? That's more than fucking Roman Polanski got. Motherfucker, that's crazy. That nigga's getting awards. That nigga was invited to the 2002 Lifetime Achievement Awards. He never came. That shit's crazy. That nigga's a rapist. Hey, man, Hollywood is weird.
Yeah. I think
Hollywood is weird.
it's down to, like, personally, we ask ourselves every now and then, can we separate art from the artist? But with Hollywood, I think it's more of a case of, is this guy still making money? Then it's like, okay, then we can turn a blind eye.
Look bad directly.
Yeah.
Because they don't give a fuck about your personal life. You could have been a heroin addict and fucked a stripper. They don't give a fuck. They'll give you an Oscar. But if you act a fool in front of their stage, motherfucker, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, well, now you learned a lesson. That's a very valuable lesson. Don't fuck with white people's things. Don't do that.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sure whoever owns, is it NBC that broadcasts the Oscars? Or ABC? If it's ABC, then it's Bob Iger. But someone is fuming.
Oh, that's bad, dude. Bob Iger's Disney. Oh, that's so bad.
If it's ABC, then yeah, Bob Iger's the reason. But if it's like NBC, then it's some other random white man.
Oh, it is ABC. Yeah.
Oof, then yeah, Bob was swearing that offers to I get it.
Didn't they, like...
Wait, Bob Chapek.
Yeah. Bob Chapek, because I remember there was Ike Perlmutter for like a few years.
Because he sucked. Like, Bob was taken out very quickly. Man, he was like, what? Like, fucking 16 months? It was so quick. I remember Bob came right after Infinity War. You know, everyone was scared. Oh my god, there's a new guy. Marvel's gonna suck now. They were kind of right. Bob fucked up a lot of things. He fucked up Hawkeye. He fucked up... Like, Hawkeye was good, but Bob Chapek tried to fuck things up. Like, he ruined Eternals. He ruined, Bob did a lot.
There was,
he did his damage.
There's this quote from IndieWire. He said, I told Disney that Marvel movies are too long, and it got me fired.
Oh, Bob. You big lummox. Oh, he's gone, though. Probably over at Nickelodeon or some bullshit.
I'm like, dude, there's a couple reasons why you were fired, and just saying that the movies are a bit long isn't one of them.
Boy, this nigga cut out budget so much. I remember they skipped a lot of episodes because of Bob. Because he cut the fucking production budget. That's why we never saw the Tony and Gamora episode, because of fucking Bob Chapek. The budget, which now forced them to make it a season 2 episode. The script was written a long time ago, surely produced. No more money. Now they have to rush and get a finale out without the Tony Stark Gamora episode to explain the Infinity Crusher.
How do you run out of money? You're Disney. How do you run out of money?
They didn't. Bob was cutting cuts as Bob was doing incorrectly like a dumbass, which is why he got fired. Bob fucked up the MCU budget so bad. CGI got shit and shit and shit. Bob is the reason why we've had a bad reputation CGI wise since post Infinity War. Disregarding the mistake that was Black Panther because of that production.
Black Widow.
Date. But like Black Widow onwards, that's all Bob.
It was rough.
Because we're out of COVID. We can produce movies. The problem is the money. Start about getting the movie out, It's about how much we have. And he fucked up Black Widow. Then he fucked up Eternals.
The lawsuit didn't help.
Xuxiao fucked up Eternals, but yeah.
The lawsuit that Scarlett Johansson had with Black Widow didn't help with that.
And he was being extremely stubborn about that fucking dumbass.
Dude, I get it, cause I get it, cause when they were coming up with the film and they asked Scarlett to come back, the contract she signed was, okay, when the movie gets to cinemas, I'm gonna get a cut of the money. That's the agreement there. But then no one planned on the pandemic happening. No one knew how big of a deal. Then, okay, the decision was made, this movie's not going to cinemas. So, well, that's that. You should, at the very least, say, okay, Scarlett, the movie's not going to cinemas, here's X amount of money. Yeah, you're gonna get a lump sum. But he was just like, nah, the movie doesn't go to cinemas, so you don't get shit.
Check, I win. Fucking snake. Bob would never do that.
Yeah, he would not just give away free money. But yeah.
Exactly.
Still though.
But yeah, glad he's gone. We'll see what the future holds now, but so far so good.
So far,
but it's been a terrible ride of confidence, my friend.
We've had like 2 movies, so what do you mean so far so good? We've had like 2 movies.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, things are just getting good, like, now. Like, it's been bad for a minute. Things are picking up. If we can stitch No Way Home, Wakanda Forever, and this as the only Phase 5 movies, I'd be okay with that. Maybe Doctor Strange for context.
Yeah, I think
it's been a painful period.
That's largely down to Sam Raimi and Benedict Cumberbatch, because you remember the stories that when they started filming, they didn't have a third act, and they had to like make it up because of Michael Waldron didn't finish the script in time.
Was writing.
Yeah.
That actually fucking Jesus. They had Sherlock writing Doctor Strange. Oh my God.
I swear, dude, at that point, I would fire the guy. I'm sorry, dude. I don't care that we signed you to X amount of years. You're fucking fired, man. The movie started rolling and wasn't finished. Dude.
Maggie's been too soft too many times. I'm glad he's waking up now.
Dude, like, also...
It's a good thing you also got Avi Arad fired. Good for him.
Yeah.
And Ike. Good for him.
Avi Arad has been attached to Spider-Man ever since, like, the 90s cartoon. Just...
Yeah, because he bought Toy Biz.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they got the rights to make Spider-Man toys, but goddamn, dude has been there since... Just been there for decades, man.
Now,
Yeah.
Given has gotten him fired from Marvel's creative side, and they've also fired so Faggy is slowly, dropping off his office. Slowly getting rid of him.
Yeah.
He's winning.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, hey, man, what a world we're living in where, for a change, DC is the one that looks like the sensible one who got their shit together. And they're not even doing anything. Yeah.
Hey, man on the moon chiming in here. The quality of the sound, that's I think was being interrupted by the rain. Conversation was really good. We got into talking about James Gunn and the like. Shut up, MTN. Anyway, this was that little alert I was talking to, not you. Anyway, we're talking about like James Gunn and DC and how for a change it seems like they are the house that got everything together, and how normally it would be the other way around. Normally it would be the House of Mouse and their mighty Avengers who have ever their ducks in a row. But that's what we're getting at here. Let me see if I can get the sound back. I'll at least move forward to a place where the rain isn't so interfering with everything. But other than that, enjoy the rest of the episode.
History of scams, dude. I mean, fuck your Goldman Sachs, your Ponzi schemes, or whatever. The biggest scam in the history of scams that all schools do is Civies Day. Think about it. The school is making you pay to wear your own clothes. Just
Like, how much are you making that? Like, in a classroom, they make on average, let me see, 25 kids.
dude.
What's the price? They do that at $20, right? 20
Yeah,
bucks.
yeah, roughly $20, yeah.
So they make $500 a class.
Dude.
How many classes in a grade? Let's say that there's 5 classes in a grade. That's $2.5 grand. That's 7 grades. So they made 17 grand for a useless fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Grade 1 to grade 7.
Dude, it took me like years to catch that shit. Like, wait a minute, I'm paying just so I could rock up in my own shit? Like, this is a scam. What are you doing this for?
For as little as 5 grand, you have given them a 5-figure return. Fucking insane.
Hey, but you gotta respect the hustle, dude. You gotta respect the hustle.
Smart.
Yeah, whoever thought that up is a genius, man.
Even for like the tuck shop, man, those markups.
Dude.
Man, 5 grand markup, easy, boom, bam. Those niggas are shameless, they don't care.
Sam's new suit, yeah. Shit.
I mean, let me get your opinion. Does it look better? Look nice?
Well, thing is, okay, looking at it from the perspective, the original one, the red, white, and blue they had at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, that's the most comic accurate it's ever gonna get, right?
Yeah.
Can't get better than that. But at the same time, when you see him, he looks so freaking doughy in that suit, dude. Like, he's too puffy. Like,
Puffy, yeah.
yeah. So,
True.
from what we've seen so far, this is a more form-fitting attire. And
Yeah, it's more basic.
Yeah. The only downside is it's just caps.
It's vibranium.
Yeah. That's that. You know, like, yeah.
Because if the Wakandas ever hit word that he made a new suit, would they not offer to vibranize that one as well? I wonder.
Yeah. Also, I'm just glad he's wearing like goggles now instead of that weird headpiece that that was connected to the thing. Like,
yeah, the neck.
That just made.
I mean, it was this is very much like it's like version 1. Like, yes, it's Captain, like, you can say, very like Captain America comic characters, but I feel like they can streamline it more in the MCU. As the movies go on, they can streamline it better and have a sleeker design. And maybe that's what I assume, maybe for the end or the midsection of New World Order, or in this case, Captain America for Untitled, because they removed New World Order from the subtitle. So now it has no title, no working title at least.
Hey, why? What happened?
They just removed the name. They just changed their mind. So it currently has no title at this moment, no active title. So it's Captain America for Untitled.
That's weird, man. It's like...
It is. It's very weird.
What's wrong with New World Order? I mean, it kind of says something about the film.
I guess since the script has changed, that word does it no longer correlates fully to what the actual movie will be about.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, the story's gotten so more, sprawling and diverse. It doesn't fit it anymore.
Yeah. What with She-Hulk and the leader and them being there?
Exactly.
But weird enough, it doesn't feel like She-Hulk was supposed to be there from the jump. I think it was more like, due to the success of the show, they were like, hey, people want more She-Hulk, let's put her in the movie. Like, it was like, yeah, not to dismiss She-Hulk, it's just like, it feels so out of left field. Like, this is a Captain America movie, why is She-Hulk here? Just, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like, as much as they did, maybe plan for her to always be there because, of course, she had her show like last year. I guess they didn't anticipate the role that they'd play, like with Intelligentsia and the leader, and those experiments to make another Hulk, which lead into Red Hulk. Because I feel like they did scramble after William Hurt died. It seemed like for a second they had no General Ross. They were scared.
Yeah.
So maybe after that, during that scramble, the script was changed. Potentially, if they never saw Ross again, but then they finally got Harrison, and after that, they carried on with the story having already been changed, and they moved into its trajectory.
Speaking of good old Harrison Ford and doing roles despite his age, you gonna see Indy 5?
Sorry, what was that, bro?
You gonna see Indiana Jones 5?
I might. I'll see the first tribute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bro, I just got a hot-ass scoop. I'll send it to you right now. It's about Cap 4.
Alright.
It's going to be very, very interesting. Anyway, okay, we got some Bob Iger stuff. Ooh, we got some Agatha Coven of Darkness stories.
Isn't it called House of Harkness?
No, it's Coven of Chaos.
Oh, okay.
RG Plaza. Who was it? It's RG Plaza. It's the same one from WandaVision, the one with the blonde hair. It's, obviously Agatha herself. And, yeah, a lot more people who are going to be playing these witches in what I would assume is they're very much like a bit weary of things of weird nature.
Is it a prequel to WandaVision, or is it set after, Multiverse of Madness? So
it's a sequel to prequel, because most story elements will involve the modern day context, but then at the same time, you also have the fact that, I don't know, it's tough.
yeah,
Maybe, what would you say?
I thought that since Wanda wiped all of Agatha's memory, then that Coven of Chaos or House of Harkness or whatever would be a prequel showing okay, this is yeah.
If it's a prequel, would it matter? Because even a prequel needs to have sequel setup. Captain Marvel began in 95, ended in 2018, 20 days later. So, in any case, it has to meaningfully follow in a future project. I don't want the Witcher's stories to end here. If we're going back in time now, hundreds of years, you should definitely also think to include none other than the High Evolutionary. Because he has been doing experiments 300 years back. I feel like going back in time is meaningful. And they will show the effect of that time. What they accomplished 300 years ago during the Silent Witch trials affects the modern day because this magical sorceress gets released from a 1,000-year period of something interesting, but it'll still be a connect to the grand narrative. It can't be standalone. Otherwise, it's useless and a waste of money. Because even Guardians is useful, because now we have new Guardians. And James might not come back to the characters. Marvel can certainly get new people to do those characters. Might not be better, but hope. Obviously, these characters are still alive. None of them died. Thankfully, that whole dying premise was like a bait and switch. Thank God. I'm glad no one died. And this leads in the future to adventures. You have more of the Ravagers, Quill on Earth. That will probably also connect to, Quill is on Earth now, which means he is an available Avenger / Celestial. He's got a lot of catching up to do. He's going to meet Nick Fury. He's going to do things on Earth for a minute. Might even be an Avenger. Maybe he'll want to take a break from this superhero shit. Who the fuck knows? He might fall in love. He might meet someone. A lot can happen now. Obviously, Rocket's into the Guardians. Ooh, King Groot.
Yeah, he's all beefed up, yeah.
The possibilities, they're open now. They're completely bust wide open. Obviously, maybe people like Liz Aldana might not want to come back anymore, as they did mention in the interview that she was kind of done with the character before. So they said that if Disney wants to see Gamora again, they have to hire the actress because she's done with the character. That's fair, Maybe they will. Maybe they'll hire Amanda Seyfried. They're the same on the makeup anyway. Maybe they'll hire her. Maybe they'll hire an unknown Zaldana. For symmetry. Who knows? So they still have time to build up the universe more. I mean, maybe not could do an Adam Warlock standalone. He's a Guardian, but also he has the heritage. He's from a Sovereign. He has certain expectations. Obviously, the High Evolutionary is dead. He's still out there in the world. Yes, he's apprehended. He's still the High freaking Evolutionary. So, he's still going to pop back up. Obviously, we got some context clues in the movie talking about he's been getting experience for 300 years. He's been on Earth. He liked the culture and the planet. You know, hey, fuck it. They could explain mutants. They could, touch upon. They could touch upon his experimenting on Earth, and he created mutants. There's like this whole creator kind of perspective in Phase 5. Fucking Jaco, whoever his name is, created Black Widow. He created Natasha. Natasha created Taskmaster. Tony created Quinn and Beck. He kind of created Peter Parker and Spider-Man before Peter had created old Persona.
That's not exactly a great thing, those Tony made villains.
Yeah, it's not.
Because
it's showing that we are the worst versions of ourselves because we create ourselves in people. And obviously, to a certain extent, the way that Natasha was raised before he escaped is very indicative of how Yelena acted. And now, obviously, you have the Celestials creating the Eternals. And now you have the High Commissioner. He is creating life on a bigger scale. I would argue. On the perfect team. Because yes, the Celestials did create as Guardians as well. They did create as God. Well, in the comics they did. We're not sure about the MCU. They could have, but we're not sure. Because that whole society with a construct of belief. The fact that Earthlings believe even these gods may be real, but they did come from a primordial explosion or soup of some sort. Even a person like Cap is a no-cell. With a person like that, he would clear it instantly. Like, no issue.
I mean, Morbius is a vampire, so,
I feel like Morbius maybe... He seems so street level. Like, he's good. I just don't see him beating Steve Rogers. That's my main issue. I don't see him beating Steve Rogers. So, how could he beat Cap Wilson, who has cybernetic enhancements with, like, the suit, because vibranium, and the wings? I don't see him beating him.
Yeah.
This is going to be very disrespectful to him. But I feel like Morbius is like probably, I would power skate him to an outrider.
Seriously, dude?
Okay, that's a hyperbole, but maybe like, you see, I don't even want to go big. I don't even want to say Proxima Midnight. I don't even want to say that. Even that's too much.
Who was that skinny guy? The guy that Tony called Squidward.
Oh no, he's way too powerful. He's way too powerful. That is Ebony Maw. He's way too powerful because he has telekinesis. It's very powerful. He can choke you with metal and make you feel like a towel. So yeah, you don't want to smoke with him. I feel like maybe even Gamora could piece up. Let's be honest, Gamora, she could piece up Michael Morbius. Even Nebula. Like, how can you even scale Morbius realistically in the MCU?
Well, we don't really have anything to compare it to because in his movie he fights another vampire, so it's never really, we don't really see him get tested. And
like he's barely above Blade. And maybe he isn't, because sometimes, like I remember they fought in like the Spider-Man 90s cartoon. Blade has always been a person who has super strength because of his half genealogy. He's always either like equal to Morbius, or sometimes he'll win a fight. So he's Blade. He's like Blade / below Blade. he's a rogue, low-tier, mid-tier vampire. He's not part of a group, an organization. He's just him. He's like a lone wolf. He's like Geo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
He's not Dracula, basically.
Yeah. He's not the main guy. He's just not that guy.
So Dracula would piece up Morbius if it came down to it?
Most deaf. Maybe even... I was going to say Werewolf by Night, but I'm not sure about his past getting...
He's a werewolf, dude. I mean, like, werewolves... Dude, werewolves always fuck up vampires. It's always the case. Like, werewolves always fuck up vampires, yeah.
But, werewolves, he's a bit tiny. Like, is he even shorter than, is he even, 6 foot? Doesn't even look 6 foot.
When he transforms, yeah.
Fur.
I mean, it's not really...
He just turns into fur, and that's it. Because Cap and them are 6 foot. So he's just he's the same guy, but he's just hairy. And obviously he's muscular in terms of strength, but his mass doesn't change much. It's not like a Hulk effect. It's not like oh my god, he's gained 300 pounds of muscle. No, he's barely gained 50. So I'm not sure if he's winning against Morbius. That's interesting. But it is, the battle is old as time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Sony characters and whatever that Morbius is a part of, the El Muerto movie, Bad Bunny's El Muerto movie, apparently hasn't started production, even though they announced a release date. They haven't started filming anything yet. There was some kind of delay. Oh, no. Yeah. The dude was on tour. Apparently his busy schedule halted the movie's, the film date or whatever. Do you have any interest in, Bad Bunny's El Muerto movie?
I don't know if we can... I don't know if we can accommodate that person at this stage, It seems too late for those kinds of stories. It feels more suited to be like a 6-episode TV show,
You put Bad Bunny on TV? Isn't he kind of big for that?
DVD, but definitely not streaming. I just don't see, I don't see where it can fit in this landscape of whimsical powers, and I don't know. It just seems like they're trying to do a small coming of age story once again, but from this guy whose main draw will be his heritage. And, it obviously might divulge into a very Mexican feeling movie, just in a way that Into the Spider-Verse feels like a black movie, even though Miles is both Hispanic and African American. So it feels like it wants to do that, like they want to kind of fill in that area of the culture that those people have been desperately asking for, but it doesn't seem earned in a sense. It'll just seem like a meaningless cash grab, because where's the connection? Unless they make a very good story, right? Unless the story is like very, very engaging and captivating and heartwarming, I would say maybe it has a chance to be good. But if it's a soulless cash grab on Latino culture with this person who's supposed to symbolize the community's efforts, I would say no. I don't think it will be as successful. Plus, given his track record, they will most probably muck this up and potentially academic Latino community and superhero community alike. It just seems risky. And I don't know if they have what it takes to pull it off at this stage, given so many hits and misses.
In regards to the story, like I've looked up the guy, I've looked up Muerto, and his like big claim to fame was that he was in these two these two issues of Amazing Spider-Man. In those issues he had a wrestling match because like he's a masked wrestler, and he wrestled with Spider-Man, and like across the two issues. And I think like the main draw was that he was just this ordinary guy going against this powered individual, and he managed to out wrestle him. So with that being his like two biggest stories, I don't see them adapting that because question is, okay, this is a Sony movie, so who's Spider-Man? Is there gonna be Spider-Man? Like
exactly. Will it be a weird throwaway line as like, fuck Spider-Man or whatever,
Yeah, like
to be like, but he's not here.
Is it gonna potentially end with that? Like, oh yeah, like El Muerto is like he's all masked up and he's on his way through the entrance. It's like, he's got a big fight against a mystery opponent. Who's it gonna be? And then you hear like the thwip noises and cut to black or something like that. Thing is, if they did that, I don't think it would work, man. Like, it would, if anything, it might piss people off to just like, oh, hey, like, he's about to have a match with Spider-Man. Cut to black. Like, you remember Amazing Spider-Man 2 and that fight with the Rhino?
Yeah.
And the movie just cuts to black.
With the swinging manhole and whatnot.
Yeah, it would be like that. And, like, people would be pissed if that happened. Like, if the movie...
They definitely would be.
Yeah, if it ended setting up the fight with Spider-Man and just called it there. But, like, if there's no Spider-Man, then it's just a story about this guy. Like, this dude...
Literally, and at that point, it's so useless.
Yeah, he's a masked wrestler, and, if there's no Spider-Man...
behind him.
What's he gonna do? Like, yeah. There was one story that like expanded on his backstory, like that the mask that he wears is like it's passed down from his dad or whatever, and like this lineage of people who like battled demons, and whoever dons the mask is like followed by this demon, and like they got to do battle or whatever. Like, if that's the story, like I think it could work, but the problem is like you have nowhere to go from there. It's like, okay, you've inherited this mask, demons chasing you, and plus that's basically just Ghost Rider if you think about it. Cause so yeah, I mean, so okay, there is a story there. There is definitely a story, like a problem and an antagonist for El Muerto to face. But once that's done, like what else is there? I mean, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna pop up in the next like? Is he gonna be in the Craven movie? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they're building something, but the thing is, they're always building something.
Yeah, and it never pans out.
Maybe still yet to be seen.
It never pans out. Remember that Sinister Six movie they were building to, and they had dude walk past.
Years back too.
Dude, And like their way of setting it up was to have dude walk past all the stuff. Just
Yeah.
dude, that was so
So many
lazy.
years ago.
It was so lazy, man. Like just dude.
Yeah, maybe they just need to. They just need to completely just correct course, because I don't see them heading in a good direction at this point.
I think most other studios outside of DC are like done trying to create their own universe, because for a while after Avengers came out, you remember everybody was trying to make a universe. Everybody was like scooping up what property they had, trying to do spin-offs and sequels, and they rarely ever work. Worst case being Universal and their Mummy reboots. That failed. That was
Sure.
yeah, that failed. So I think after that, people saw like, hey, these shared universes can make money, but they can also lose money if they don't work out. So they all collectively pumped the brakes. Because
very easily too.
Yeah, around that time, you'll notice all those book adaptations stopped. You know, like your Maze Runner, your Hunger Games, your Divergent, like all that shit just stopped. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Hold up. Like, yeah.
Weird, right?
Yeah, man, it's just, it was definitely something. But speaking of adaptations, what's, of those adaptation movies, which was the best? You know, like your Hunger Games, your Maze Runners, whatever. Like, which did you enjoy of those adaptation movies?
I think a lot of people can agree that the Hunger Games, I think they came at the right time, right? Because the Twilight bug was keeping everyone fast. That left a very sizable gap in that market of these, you know, for the most part, faithful adaptations of books and fantasy novels. And when it had to come into like production, everyone had hope again, because it felt like it was the end of the era. It was like New Boo and, you know, whatever, Part 2 and The Dawn and whatnot. So I would say compared to the Diversion, because also you have things like cancelled sequels and whatnot. When you look at the Hunger Games, their story completed in a more sequenced manner than Divergent did. Like, they planned out Hunger Games very well. They did it in a timely fashion, and they got as much box office and publicity as they could have. And then you compare it to the success of Divergent, like, it just always felt like it was picking up the scraps of what had already been used, or what had already been, whatever attention had been used.
Yeah. Plus, that last movie never got made, you know.
You see, so that whole aspect of finishing trilogies, being able to finish your vision, your story, to connect everything, they didn't even get a chance to do that, dog. You know.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough.
Personally, I always enjoyed the Maze Runner movie, especially that last one, the Death Cure. Yeah, I thought that movie was good. What's that? Dylan O'Brien, and Thomas Brody Sangster, like they were great in those movies. Those movies were like really solid films. And then you get like
it's funny. Dylan O'Brien dipped for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And then he came back out of nowhere.
Yeah, he was all grown by then. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, got a beard and everything. Like, shit, man. Yeah. He was
like, I really enjoyed him in Bullet Train. He was funny. He was good. He was
yeah. It was like the guy looks like when I first saw him, I legit thought that he was like Logan Lerman's older brother. You remember Logan Lerman from like Percy Jackson?
Very similar people.
Dude. like
he's just like the badass twin.
Yeah.
Like Cap. He's just out there.
Oh shit, man! Not knocking. I'm not knocking Logan Lerman. It's just I mean.
No, totally fair, man. Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's these 2000 whiteboards. These 2010 whiteboards.
Yeah.
These whiteboards of the 2010s.
Oh yeah.
They all look the same. Zac Efron included. They all look the same.
Dude.
Well, not anymore, I would say.
Yeah, he got all like big during like this one show. Yeah, people were like,
"Yo." He had that surgery that like changed his face.
Yeah.
He had that busted jaw, and he had to change his face. Yeah, man, tough. It's really tough, man. Cause he's got like plastic surgery. What do you call it? Allegations and shit. Keep in mind, I also had, that chin injury, like a very similar one, though his is much more extreme, because it's gone to the life. My face shape definitely changed after it. Definitely changed. So, I do think it's something that's beyond his control at this point, because at the same time, I would assume that he tried to play it off. He tried to embrace it and be like, okay, this is how I look now. Let's just move on. But the internet kept prodding, oh, he changed his face. He hates himself. Oh my God. Self-image issues. Hey, mind you, I won't get logo.
Yeah. But Hollywood and acting, it's a very image-driven, it's a very image-driven job. So yeah,
it definitely is. Even that whole aspect of being fit and being leading man material, just to be in the realm of consideration for projects. You gotta keep yourself fit the entire year just to get offers, and that to me is just so insane. Because you're spending your whole life working towards this thing constantly, You lose that shape, they might not want to hire you. You might have that one studio that be like, okay, it's fine. You'll work off the weight, you're hired, but don't fuck it up, otherwise we'll replace you and take our money back.
Yeah.
So, you're definitely living in that that entrapment. But then at the same time, it's life. So who can say what, really?
Speaking of get in shape or else, I found out this pretty interesting detail. Well, I don't know if you'll find it interesting, but I found it kind of funny. There was the movie Under Siege, this old Steven Seagal movie, Under Siege. One of the best movies he's ever made. No, it's the best movie he's ever made. Most box office, most critically well received, whatever. When it came time to the sequel, it was I think it was 97, maybe, because the first one was way back in 94, so 97 rolled around, and Warner Brothers was bankrolling the sequel, and Steven Seagal wasn't in the same shape he was in the first movie. He had that waist thing, the thing you wear on your waist to slim down. Yeah, he had one of those on for most of his scenes. 70% of his scenes, he had that thing on. And you can actually tell he's out of shape in, the very first scene of the movie, because that's the only scene where he's not wearing it, and he, gets out of the car, and he looks wide. You can tell, okay, he's starting to let himself slide a bit here. Once filming wrapped, the studio, they had a meeting with him, and they told him, we have plans for Under Siege 3, because, the box office, it wasn't as high as the first one, but it was still high. So they're like, we have plans for Under Siege 3. However, you know, if we're gonna go through with this, you need to get in shape like you promised you would for this movie. Like, we will not proceed with this sequel unless you get in shape like you agreed. And he said, like, he's like, okay, just give me some time. I'll get in shape, I promise, and then we'll begin production. Just give me some time. So that was back in '97. To this day, there has not been an Under Siege 3. Just that's thinking. Nigga would rather stay out of shape and stay that way than get in shape and get paid. Just.
I wonder if the paycheck is too small for him. Because he's very picky, you know.
Nah, dude, I mean, this is WB. I mean, they got money. They got money. Shit. Even last year when they were saying, like, yo, we don't have money. We can't afford to release certain movies. And, like, we can't afford to edit The Flash. They had money. They just...
Oh, yeah. They were just being bitchy about it.
Yeah. Dude. Man, our attitude for that movie has shifted wildly. Holy crap, dude.
Dude, the first impressions don't look good, and it's, you know, it's definitely nerve-wracking.
How so?
Have you seen those, like, first reviews and the first impressions?
I remember Stephen King put a post on Twitter where he was like, he saw an advanced screening of The Flash. And I'm just like, Stephen King? Like, the guy who wrote It and Cujo and all that shit, like, he's watching The Flash?
Who cares about, you know,
like,
his opinion card?
Why are you chiming in, man? Like, I mean, yeah, no disrespect. You're, like, a critically acclaimed, all that shit.
In your life. But still.
But, like, why are you chiming into this? Why? Like, yeah, you're not a superhero guy, you know? He's like...
Exactly.
So he says, I got an advanced screening of The Flash today. As a rule, I don't care for superhero movies, but this one is special. It's heartfelt, funny, and eye-popping. I loved it. Okay. It's weird that you chose to start off your glowing review with, you know, normally I don't give a shit about superhero movies, but, you know, just...
Like, it feels forced. Like,
yeah.
An ad.
If you really don't give a shit, why did you bother? Like...
Even tweet, open your phone. Like, what the hell?
Yep.
That's very... But yeah, like, you know, the effect of, like, I guess Barry running or whatever, apparently they're, like, half-baked. I mean, obviously the movie's not out yet, so I'd assume they're still trying to cook it for, like, the, you know, the worldwide release.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Kind of like Spider-Man, you know, because Spider-Man came out, and the CGI got much better when Andrew first came in the scene, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they're improving. Maybe there's a very high chance they are, even as we're speaking, churning out, you know, terabytes worth of corrections and rendering and whatnot. So maybe they are. Maybe it'll look better. But for now, I get complain about like the running CGI, about the slow-mo scenes. They don't work. You know, they're trying to be Snyder, but it's just not hitting. So yeah, it's for now. It's tough. It's tough to know.
Yeah. Which is weird, because, like, I mean, it's not that weird, because you have James Gunn and who's that guy who owns Warner Discovery? Like, you have
Murdoch.
I don't know his name, but like that guy, like he was coming out of
Murdoch. He owns Tuna Warner.
Oh, yeah, not him.
Yeah.
Like the merge after the merger came out, there was like one main guy, and like I remember he came forward and he was like, "Yeah, I saw The Flash. It was great," and you know he gave a glowing review, and he's like, "I've seen it 3 times by now." Like, okay, mean, I get it. You own the company, but like, who the fuck are you to be seeing it 3 times before everyone else, man? Like,
it just feels like Jeremy Renner being invited to the White House and him talking about prison reform.
yeah, it's weird. Like, you're...
Like, look, I know you know Mark Ruffalo, who is an activist. Why the fuck are you here? Why couldn't they get Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah. I think the thing is with Mark Ruffalo, it would make sense because he is an activist and he's like doing stuff and shit. Yeah.
For a person like, down the line, James Gunn, it would make sense, but not the guy who owns the merged thing. For Gunn, sure, not the other guy.
Yeah.
Like, your proximity to this guy doesn't really explain why you're doing this,
Yeah, it's you're advertising a property of a property that you own. Like, it feels beneath you, man. Like, why would you do this? Like, yeah. You don't see... Okay, you would see Dana White, hyping up an upcoming fight. That would make sense. But, like, you're not going to see, like, what's that guy? You're not going to see the owner of the now merged WWE UFC going out and hyping up, oh, yeah, Diaz and, Sanchez, whatever. You're not going to see him doing that. Like, he's kind of above all of that. Yeah.
It's like having Bob Iger, co-sign some weird movie made by 20th Productions. Like, who gives a fuck what Bob Iger thinks?
Dude.
Like, yeah, cool, you own 20th everything, but who gives a fuck, Bob Iger?
You are so far removed from all this, dude. It's like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's not like if, Stan Lee were to give his thoughts on a comic book movie, then it's like, oh, okay, I see him, even though he's not directly...
Like that level of authority, that know-how.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Stan Man.
Yeah. There's no... It's just...
But not some random schmuck.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I kind of feel bad for DC in the sense that they don't have that Stan Lee figure.
It's weird, too, because they had so many creators. I mean, look, if Kirby wasn't a recluse, he would be. But, yeah, they have no one. It's sad. It's quite sad.
It's fucking bizarre is what it is. They have so many freaking writers. I think that's why. I think that's the main reason, because there have been so many different timelines, so many reimaginings, so many writers that there is no one main guy to call up and be like, okay, come.
Like none of them matter after the first 4 years of creation, because they just get changed up again. So now it's no longer your character, and the difference with like Stan Lee's creations, they've been, for the most part, very consistent, quite consistent in their origins and directions. That's why, he still very much lays the claim to this very diverse selection of characters, because they very much kept that DNA, that Stan and people like Stan and Kirby and, other writers injected into it.
Yeah.
It looks,
like,
it still looks and feels like what they made.
It's tough though, man. Like, DC is kind of, with as much money as they've had, with as much Batman-related success as they've had, in the grander scheme of things, they're kind of the underdog in all this. They're always playing catch-up. They're always... Yeah.
No, that's right. That's right.
Which is ironic, considering they started this shit with Superman.
Opportunity now to do it so much better.
Yeah.
They really do. I hope they take it.
The thing is, if I remember saying this way back in like December, like if this first movie bombs, it's gonna kill the whole universe. Doesn't matter what comes after. If that first movie out the gate is a flop, it's gonna kill faith in the whole thing. Like, dude, like we even discussed a what if scenario last year. I remember there was a whole video we did about what if Iron Man bombed? What would have happened? Like, just sequels would have been, like, it basically summed up as sequels would have been cancelled, movies would have never been made, like, Disney would have never bought Marvel, like, just, dude.
Exactly, because certain movie actions were decided
based off the success of that first movie. Yeah.
Exactly.
But damn though, man, it's exciting times we live in. Worrisome too, but still exciting. But yeah.
True. Oh god, what's going on with the thunderstorm? There's a thunderstorm now in our side. That's pretty weird. Funny how quickly weather travels.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way to even when I'm feeling down, I fight, even when I don't know what is right. I'ma pick a side, and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate, and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shape me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone.